Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy Rodney Create 3, Anime Real Talk TV. We got my boy, Ziploc Gory,
What's up? What's up?
and we have a special guest today from Otaku Assemble. We have Larry.
Hey, how's it going?
And today we're going to talk about Game of Thrones, the first season. And I know, Larry, you've been doing reviews on your channel, so people pretty much got the idea what you think about it. But in this review, or just an overall synopsis overview of the first season, we just gonna go in. And the episode been out, the finale been out for like a week. So if you ain't seen it by now, I mean, shit, get on our level. Seriously. Because this gonna be straight spoiler, ridiculous, dumbness, we going in. So, first of all, let's start with the story of Game of Thrones. And Larry, since you're the resident reviewer of Game of Thrones, go ahead and go in and give the viewers just a quick little synopsis of what it is.
Okay. Wow. Quick synopsis. All right, let's see if we could do this. Okay, pretty much Game of Thrones is a story chronicling the adventures of a handful of various characters, all of whom dwell within the fictional world of Westeros. They range from king and queens to lords of various houses, and it's it's pretty much a it's pretty much a fantasy fiction story where no one can be trusted. Everyone's out to get everyone else, and the suspense, conflict, plot is just insane.
Alright, now let's go into the characters. Now, they have the most epic characters in here. And, we're going to pick our favorite characters. But just to round off, you have the Starks, which is Lord Eddard Stark, Ned. And you have Mark Addy as King Robert Baratheon. And these names are just for Lannister and Targaryen. Like, you have these crazy ass names of that go along with this world, and is everybody's epic. So the basically is it has not only a mixture of medieval type slash Lord of the Rings type folklore, but it also has supernatural elements to it and a little bit of mythology, like creatures and stuff like that. What did you guys think of the characters in Game of Thrones? Zip, you want to go first?
Well, for me, when I first saw the episode, a lot of people kept comparing it, of course, to Lord of the Rings, and when I saw it, I'm like, a critic pretty much summed it up the best. He was like, it's pretty much Sopranos in the medieval times, and I'm like, that's what it's like. Cause I was expecting like something like Xena, where it's gonna be like a lot of action in it and whatnot, but it's more based in drama. And the characters and stuff, I think they're really cool. They don't really, it doesn't follow the Formula A. That's what I like about it. It's really hard to predict. I couldn't tell what the heck the series is going the entire series. So that's pretty good, in my opinion.
Yeah, Larry.
I have to agree wholeheartedly with Zip. Even though there were a few things that happened that occurred in this first season, which also occurred in the corresponding book that I really did not. It hurt. It really did hurt. However, I like the fact that it does not follow Formula A. That's the one thing about this series that has just I've adored so much is the fact that it's not cliche, it's not stereotypical, and you cannot predict what's going to happen. If you try, you will hurt yourself. I promise you. Okay.
Now,
And
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
and and I mean, like, even when I made guesses or predictions of what could happen, I didn't think that they would actually, that would actually transpire. So you could probably pick up on a couple of things, especially if you only watch the series. Which, from what I've heard, if you read the books, all of the stuff that they foreshadow in the series, they don't do that in the novels. So you won't pick up on it as soon as you would. But in the series, even some of the stuff that you pick up on, like I said, if you pick up on it it was just a few things where I thought that could happen, but I never thought it would happen, and it's crazy.
That's what's up. Now I'm just gonna go straight in. Favorite character now has got to be the imp. Tyrion Lannister. Oh
Hmm.
God, dude goes in. Now I like this character because number one, he's a dwarf, so that in the context of the story, it it also puts a lot of like obstacles for him physically, so he has to make up for it mentally. So he's fucking smarter than a lot of people, even though he's not stronger than a lot of people. And he has a manipulative way about him, almost mind control. He knows exactly what to say. He knows what you want, and he knows that he can get it for you. And it's he's a hustler. He be on his hustle, like straight up. And but he's also it's hard to figure him out because I think he's more loyal to the the Lannister family and whatnot, but he also decided to help the kid out when they pushed him off of the top of that tower and to help him ride the horse and whatnot. So I don't know where he's all over the place. I think he knows they're doing dirt and he's just going through the motions. I'm not sure about his character, but I do like his character, like straight up. What about you, Zip? We got a favorite character?
There's a ton I really like, but if I'm gonna pick one favorite, well, I have two. Um, Basically the child characters like Arya and Bran. I thought what was gonna happen is, as they grew up, they were gonna have this rivalry, and one of them was going to be known as, the one with the skill, which pretty much would be Arya, and the one with the smartness, which would be Bran. But of course, I mean that still could happen, but with them being separated, that's probably not gonna happen now. But those two are my favorites.
Yeah,
Um, they just, I don't know, something about them just really tells me that they're gonna be great when they grow up. So I'm looking
yeah.
forward to that.
I've looked at her like at Arya as like gonna be a badass warrior chick, like
Hmm.
she gonna be slaying dragons like in Claymore or something like that. I mean, she has the makings of not being that whole girly girl type. She's born to wield a sword, and they're encouraging that. So I did like that they decided to get her a teacher and whatnot. What about you, Larry? What's up with your favorite characters?
Anybody who's seen any of my videos know my favorite character, man. Lord Eddard Stark,
Off
Lord
with
of
his
Winterfell.
head! Off with his head!
Lord of Winterfell, Warden of the North, the first of his name. Lord Ned, man. Ned is my dude. Ned was the one I was going for all season, bruh. And we know what happened with that. And I ain't been right since.
Man, you know what? Ned, he is so loyal and noble and just generally want to do right. Now, in terms of the rules of the kingdom, these are the rules. You break the rules, I carry out the consequences. That's just a flat out fact of the matter. There's no maliciousness behind what he does. He's always just doing what's right. And man, he was dealt dirty, man. He was dealt so dirty in there.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
He's a character. He's a character of duty. I love characters like that. That's why, making an anime reference here. Saito was my favorite. He has a duty. Is kill evil immediately. He follows that to the grave. Period. He never said. That's what I love about Ned too. Till the very end, even though he had to make up that lie and whatnot, he still followed his duty to the end, and he just that's a great character.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the kids. Now we talked about Arya. Arya is Ned Stark's daughter. She's kind of a tomboy like, and she likes to fight with swords. She's not a girly girl. But then you got Sansa. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Uh,
Sansa, yeah.
Sansa. And like so many times in this show, I was like, what a disloyal bitch made. Like, I was just mad at her character for I want to have his babies, and I'm like, if you don't shut the fuck up, like I swear, some of the shit that she was doing was just straight up disloyal. Like I don't understand how she could go against. Like I understand the level of maturity of a woman about to marry a young king and this, that, and the other. But blood is blood, and if it's just with so many instances when the, the young king what was his name? The
Joffrey.
king, yeah, Joffrey, came up on her sister, and her friend was like playing stick swords or whatever the case, and the
Mhm.
way he was a pompous asshole to the sister and the friend, and she was just sitting there. I'm like, oh Lord. I mean, I know the duty. You just gotta do what the king. You just gotta stand by him. Don't say nothing. Like I know that, but come on now. It was just. It's like if you don't if you don't want to be in this family, get the fuck out. Like straight up. That's how I was thinking. Like, but what you guys take on the whole Stark household?
Yeah, like besides her, I like all of them. Like she really surprised me at the end though. I thought she was going to be a traitor and
Yes.
all that,
Yes.
but she actually came around, and I actually respect her character a little bit more. Hopefully in season two she can redeem herself even more. But I like pretty much all the Starks. I just have a couple of problems with Lady Stark. She just the way she treats John, and I can understand it, but it just I'm hoping that they'll get together or meet up sometime again, and she'll respect him more, or something. Give some love to the character. I mean, she just treated him like shit. But I can see why she does that. But that's just the only problem I have with her.
It's like I agree with how she treats him because I couldn't understand for the life of me, other than the fact that he's a bastard, out of wedlock son or whatever. Other than that simple fact, why are you treating him this way? You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't understand for the life of me. Like other than this fact here, why, like, as if he done something to you personally. Like she would shit on him, and she barely let him see the kid after he got hurt, and when he was going off to serve at the wall, and I was like, what's wrong? I mean, I actually respect her character more because of what she did later on in the series with capturing the imp and whatnot, but and basically digging into her suspicions about what she thought happened to her son. So I did respect her a little more, but in terms of the relationship with him and her, where he is nothing but the utmost loyal, I really don't understand that. What's your take on that, Larry?
Well, while I don't, it's just kind of like how Zip said. Also, it's like while I don't agree with it, I understand why she does it. I mean, let's face it, okay? Catelyn has not had it. She hasn't had it easy at all. Because you got to remember something. They mentioned it in the series. First off, it's bad enough she already had to suffer the loss of one loved one because she was originally engaged to Ned's brother,
Yeah.
and he got killed. So then she winds up falling in love with Ned and whatnot. And how would you feel if your husband went away for a couple of years at a time and then comes back with a baby in his arms?
Mhm.
Yeah, you sitting up there like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I mean, is it messed up? Yeah, it's messed up, but uh, that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't know.
But now let's talk about the other royalty. Now you got the Lannisters, and the queen is made a bitch. She is made a grade A bitch. Now, that whole it's almost as if Stark's good, Lannister's bad, flat out. Like that's what I'm getting from this. Like,
Hmm.
what is your take on it, Zip?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel the same way. And the whole incest thing, it's like the Lannisters are trying to pretty much They're trying to be like the Targaryens, pretty much trying to keep it all in their family. And as a villains, I can kind of see their viewpoint, but I don't agree with the stuff they do at all. It's like Larry said, it's disgusting. But man,
Gross.
yeah, man, it's their family just seems to be really dysfunctional. Really, like it seems to me like Tyrion, of course, is the most, the one I can see I can trust the most. Everyone else is just like fuck them all. Tywin, he seems to don't even like any of his kids. Like none of them. He just seems to be. I mean, he seems to have respect for Jamie, but the other ones, he just like fuck y'all. You know?
I think because he's the pretty one. He's the pretty boy that's capable of, fighting, being a warrior or whatnot. So he fucking, I don't know. It's crazy. It's kind of it's a very dysfunctional family, you know. So, what do you think about it, Larry?
Well, that's why I actually have to um, disagree because they aren't dysfunctional towards each other. They're if you go back and you pay attention to the scenes, the Lannisters are actually pretty tight with each other. Now it's with everyone around them that they're dysfunctional with. Okay, Cersei's dysfunctional with Robert. Jaime's dysfunctional with Robert. I mean, but for the most part, they're tight, thick as thieves, actually, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Is one of them will never turn on another one, or at least not yet, anyway. I do have my predictions of who it is that's actually going to turn against them, but I mean, it's like I said, these characters, they have the roles they're supposed to play. You see what I'm saying? It's Cersei, she's the queen, she's the one with the power. Jaime, he's the sword, he's the one with the muscle. Tyrion is the brain, he's the smart one. And then you got Tywin, who's actually a little bit of everything.
Yes.
And he's the money.
Yeah,
Tywin
and
is the wallet.
Bankrolling the whole operation. Yes, indeed.
So they dude, now that I think about it, they're like a little fucking mafia. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it interesting that Tywin is the richest. You would think the king would be the richest, but that's not the case. Like
oh no, Robert owes Tywin
yeah, exactly. He said he was into him for I forgot how much, but I'm like, wow, okay, that was really interesting take on that.
He'll never get that shit now. So fuck him. But yeah. Now let's move on to a couple of the other characters, like Khal Drogo and the Dothraki. I like how the one guy that follows around Khaleesi, the white guy that translates the Dothraki. Like I like how he says it. But let's get on that whole clan there. What do you guys think of that whole social hierarchy thing that they got going on? Zip, you want to take that first?
They're just straight up pure warriors. Like they just, they. I don't even think they really want power or anything. The only reason Drogo got mad is because of course, you know, the ones in the seats, as they put it, or they came in and tried to kill his son. So he's like, I'm going after y'all now. But I think for the most part, they're just really barbaric, but they have some sense of honor to them. So that's pretty much my take on them as a whole.
Yeah, I look at them like wolves that as soon as you show a slight bit of weakness, they getting on that ass and they taking your spot, like guaranteed. And it's been more than once that somebody has tried Drogo and on his seat of power as if to challenge him for that seat. So, these are like it's like if you wanna be in that chair, you got to be the best. What's your take on it, Larry?
Okay, yeah, my dude, Drogo. Drogo is I fucks with Drogo. Drogo is my dog. All right. But yeah, the Dothraki. I mean, I dig them. I dig them. I dig their whole the whole tribe and whatnot. I like the thing with the braid where it's like the warriors with the longest braids. Those are the ones that have never been defeated, and if you lose, they cut the braid off and whatnot. Like I dig all that, and yeah, I was rooting for him,
Yeah.
but we saw we saw it the last episode, they kind of hightailed it the hell up out of there. So
Yeah, they got low on that ass, boy. They weren't playing around.
oh
Yeah.
God, Drogo, man, fuck.
I
Oh.
was mad. I was like, Lord, but it was like, and sporadically they sprinkle little bits of mysticism. Like, what the fuck was going on with that horse in that tent? Like, you heard the horse like, but then you start to hear screams that were not like a horse, or like, was she calling from the nether realm of the calling ghost up? Like, what was she doing in there? So, you know, it got a little mystic on me. Also, they touched on just sporadically through the series. They touched on what they call the White Walkers, where they, you know, they're like zombified ice people that can sleep in the ice and can still move around. And oh Lord, I mean, it's getting a little mystic, and I like that. They showed a little glimpse of them just to keep you interested, and I like how they didn't dwell on it, but they showed them a couple times just so you know they're there. So when they pop up, you're like, oh shit. So you know, but yeah, I actually I like the Dothraki. They go in, and fucking Khaleesi. Khaleesi. What do you think about her, Larry?
Oh, Daenerys Targaryen, played by Emilia Clarke. That girl on my desktop right now.
Silver hair. They call her silver hair. Oh yeah, I like that. Man, now her character, I loved her character. Why? It's because she came from a fucking tyrant of a faggot ass brother that was shitting on her constantly, and she finally got out of that to a situation where it was uncomfortable at first to come up out of her even getting shitted on constantly by her brother, to get thrown to these barbarians, how they look on the outside, was a bit scary. But then when she adjusted, she started to kind of appreciate and give Drogo gratitude for getting her out of a fucked up situation, because she really you seen the metamorphosis of how she changed into real timid and real you know, just letting anybody do anything to her, and then she started to embrace that role, like, I am the queen, that this is what I do, you know what I'm saying, you doing it because I said it, you know. And I really did respect that about her over time. I like how she had a big character change just in this first season. So I really did like that. What do you think about it, Zip?
Yeah, she definitely one of the best female characters on TV right now, period. I mean, just like you said, her character change was great. I mean, she changed not only in the season, but like even in a couple episodes. She just took her role and ran with it. And I like that about her character. I like the fact that she is the dragon and not her brother and whatnot. For me, the ending, I knew that was gonna happen, like Larry, but I thought she was literally going to become a dragon. That's what I thought.
I geeked out. I knew that the eggs were gonna hatch. I knew at least one of the eggs, because in the earlier episode, for some reason, the eggs was making these sounds, like these gurgling sounds, and I also thought it was weird that she could put her hands in the fire with the egg and be completely fine. And then one of the the Dothraki helpers or servants or whatever walked in there and was like, Khaleesi. And like, you know, she got burned off of it. And I was like, that is extremely weird that she did not get burned at all. And she had her hands engulfed in them flames for a long period of time. So I'm thinking like something with these eggs are mystical. And if they're mystical, that means logically there has to be a dragon inside. So I was thinking like at least one egg, but not one, not two, but three of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Shit just got real. Yo, I geekgasm so fucking hard. I was like, what is about to be How to Train Your Motherfucking Dragon? All day. Man, I was like, yo, I want the red one, yo. Yo, look. I don't know, like, you know, a lot of people don't know, but I fucks with dragons.
Dragons is shit.
I fucks with them. And any movie that got dragons in it, like I will give it a try. Like any movie that got dragons in it, I will love to see it. And these and oh, they was dropping tidbits. They show a dragon skull, like a dragon skeleton in the dungeon. I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, oh Lord, because at first you couldn't gauge whether or not when they was referring to dragons, how long ago was it? Like, was it like how we talk about dinosaurs now, where it's so far gone out the realm possibility, or was they was speaking as if the shit like they just died like 20 years ago, like some shit like that, and I couldn't gauge whether or not it was like were they speaking of real flying fire breathing dragons, and I was like, oh Lord, the shit just got real. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. I was going in so deep. Oh Lord. Larry, what you think about that? Dragons, 3 of them.
There were 3 of them.
Sucking on 1 teeth each, and one was covering up the twatawat. I seen it. So what do you think about that?
Well, I said it in my review where I wasn't surprised that it happened because I've been expecting it to happen. But see, this is one of the things where the series differs from the novels, because this is why it was such a surprise in the novels. Because in the novels, in that one novel, there's actually a chapter where Daenerys tries, like she physically, manually tries to hatch them on purpose, and she just fails, like miserably, like serious face palm. And so from that moment on, your homeboy Jorah, he was like, oh well, I guess they'll never hatch then and whatnot, but you can still sell them. So at the end of the book, when they finally do hatch, it's like, holy shit, there was something in there the whole time. But I'm curious, like I'm just trying to figure out like how exactly, now that she has these dragons, like that just changes the whole game completely. Because it's bad enough we had these ass clowns fighting amongst themselves. Then we got wildlings. Then we got White Walkers. Now we got fucking dragons. Fucking dragons.
And for all we know, they're the last of their kind. Probably not. There may be a couple hiding somewhere. Some big ones that, it's not out of realm possibility that there are actually full grown ones just hiding out and you never see them or whatever, where people don't go. But as it stands, she has the last 3 remaining alive. Like, I mean, when the guy gave her the eggs as a gift, right? He didn't act like he said they were rare, but just because they're rare don't mean they're the only ones. So there could be hundreds around, like there could be thousands of eggs just, spattered around. Same way he got his, somebody else got theirs, But right. I think her being the dragon was that force that can make them hatch, which was different from any other person having them and just for decoration or whatever the case. And I think like the possibilities are ridiculous. If I was her, me, I would say, you know what? We're going to train these dragons. They're going to grow up. And guess what? We're going to go around. We're going to find every shop that got dragon eggs. And we're going to get all of them. And we're going to have a fucking army of dragons. We're going to name them. They're going to be different colors. We're going to put armor on them and stuff. They're going to blow fire. Man, we're going to fly like the eagles. Man, no, I was like, I couldn't talk. I was like, oh, and on top of that, showing full titty, and I was like, yes, and I was like, like the shit just got, it was, man, it was a great, for me, it was a great finale. You couldn't have left it at a better point to where, so I can't wait to get on the next season,
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think about the dragons, Zip?
Epic, man. I love the way they look, black and red. That's my color, so I'm all for that. So
black and yellow.
There was a green one too.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
He's
it.
the
Yeah,
oddball out.
and it was great. Now, as far as like just other characters that make this series unique. Now, Ned Stark's wife, well, widow now, has a
uh,
sister, which is the
Susan.
queen, and what a basket case she is. She
yeah.
has like a 12-year-old kid sucking her teeth in broad daylight. Now I've heard people saying, "Oh, you need to go in the bathroom." That's not that's not sanitary to do in public. Put your breast away, miss. But this woman goes in with a fuck it. I'm gonna say, sure they're at least 12 to 14 years old, sucking on the teeth. It's ridiculous. So I mean, just a random oddball characters. What characters do you guys like other than the mains like in the story? Larry, you want to go first?
Characters that I like other than the main characters.
Like just characters that you thought that added a little bit of uniqueness the series.
Mm, let's see. Okay, well, uniqueness. Okay, well, of course, you got Littlefinger and Varys. You don't get much more unique than them two niggas.
Yeah.
Uh, cause, cause, cause one doesn't have a sack and the other one is a pussy. Um, you have, let's see, uniqueness. Okay, well, Viserys was unique until his curtain got called.
the
uh,
the
Daenerys' brother.
sword instructor.
No, that's Syrio. Yeah, Syrio was cool.
Yeah,
I
serious.
love that
Syrio was
guy.
fucking cool.
I
Yeah.
was like, yo, he going in medieval fucking Ireland or wherever the fuck they at with an afro. I was like, he going in. I was like, yes, a Mexican with an afro or a Italian, whatever the fuck.
Spaniard.
Yes,
I think he's a Spaniard. I would hope he's a Spaniard.
Man, dude was going in. I was like, yo, I like the stance that he had when he was. Shit was great, man.
Dude, tell me how you could have a room full of guards with full body armor, swords and shit. He buzzing their ass with a wooden sword, half a wooden sword at that, beating
Yeah,
their.
yeah.
You know what? Cause I looked at it like, okay, cause clearly, I was like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But I was like, he's smart enough to go for the points in the armor that's not protected. The 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 neck joints or under the arms, shit like that. So I mean, he a tactical fighter, but all it takes is one lucky ass swing to get his ass some steel. So it was I like that character. He was training her good, and you could see the progression as the time went along. So the actress who played the little girl, you could tell that she put some work into her little fighting skills, because you could seriously see the progression even from that little point. But yeah, it was pretty good. I like him.
For me, it's gotta be, man, the old man, dude. The old man surprised the hell out of me. I was like, this dude was faking the entire time. He's probably the most dangerous out of all of them, because I'm like, whoa. When when he was with the slut or whatever, I think what's her name? Got a name.
Oh, it's
The
damn,
redhead.
Yeah, the one that
Roz.
yeah.
Roz.
Yeah, uh-huh. Man, he was pretty much coughing and seemed like he about to die and acting like he forgetting and stuff. And then when she leave the room, he gets up, like he's fine and whatever. And then I'm like, whoa, that really took me by surprise. So I'm wondering,
Yeah.
what's his deal?
Yeah, and he looked in the mirror, tightened himself up, dusted himself off, and hunched over real old, like when he was just standing up super straight. I wonder if he's even, well, obviously he's probably old, but I wonder if he is or not. If he is like in disguise. Like I don't know. I wonder what is. I don't.
I want to know
like,
his motives. His
Yes,
motives. Like,
yes.
what this? That is proof that you can't trust anyone in King's Landing, because it's like, even him, it's like, goddamn.
Yeah, and Ned, he got there and he started to somewhat. He almost had no choice but to trust the brothel owner. I forget his name.
Littlefinger.
Yeah, and you know he had some affection for his wife and stuff, so he was kind of, you know, kind of helping out in a way, but he also was like, well, I'm gonna help you, but if the time come, I will fuck you over. Just know this, and it did happen.
Yep.
So it
He
did
dropped
happen.
them hints too. He's dropping them. He was like, the smartest thing you did was not trusting me. And I was like, something's gonna happen. Keep
Yeah,
my eye on that character because he seemed like a real snake.
yeah. Now, in terms of the queen, um, what do you think? Now I sensed a little bit, not a lot, because she's a whore, but I sensed a little bit of guilt or regret of how that Ned Stark thing went down, because she knows full heartedly it was clearly her fault without a doubt. She did that nigga wrong. She did him dirty for no reason at all. No reason at all. And this dude was beheaded by direct actions from her. And it was almost man, like when the beheading happened, I almost started bawling, like straight up. Like I was like, "Oh no!" Like it was really like, and they just slowed up on the blood dripping off of the sword. I was like, "Oh man," because you know what? Last episode before that, I was like, "You know what? Maybe like his sons broke through and somebody hit the guy with an arrow when he fell over, and he ain't." I was like, "Oh no!" And then nothing but blood, like straight. They ain't even waste time getting to it, 'cause they know that's what everybody want to see. Straight up blood dripping from the sword, raised the head up. Oh Lord, I was like, man. I don't know. I sensed that she felt a little bit of regret from that, like when she was with the guy, fucking the young boy in her chambers or whatever.
Mhm.
But
Her cousin. Oh God.
Yeah.
God damn it.
and you know what? That ain't gonna last long. So
Oh God
I,
damn
I,
it.
I, I don't. I think she had. I think in the past she might have been a little bit. I mean, she even said it. She loved Robert back in the past and whatnot. But I think as time went on, she just got more and more cold hearted. And I mean, look at she produced her son and her and Jamie's son. Look at that asshole. So there you go with that.
It's her son and her nephew.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nasty.
Yeah. But I don't think she intended to kill him. I think she just wanted to, like, just send him off to the, to the wall or whatever, and let him be on his way. But it's over now. It's a full-fledged war because pretty much Joffrey set it off by killing Ned, and now it's on.
Rob coming for that ass too, boy. He
Yeah.
coming for that ass.
I think I got the hint, or just the little hint of she didn't know how much of a monster her son was. She didn't know she created a monster and put him on the throne, like she did with the guy's what he did with the guy's tongue. What do you like? What would you need more, your tongue or your fingers? And I was like, oh shit. So it was in all honesty, yeah, it was kind of some disrespectful shit for his father. So from that, I could see. But just the fact that you took the time out your day to do that, that's some cold hearted shit right there.
That would have been so nice if Sansa would have went ahead and just dropped his ass off the ledge. That would have been so nice.
Yeah, I thought I seen her looking, and I thought I was like, well, she either thinking of, head first and off that motherfucker, or she gonna hurry up and push his ass off. And she could have pushed his bitch ass too,
Yeah.
if he ain't had the fucking Goonies with him.
I think he knew what was gonna happen. What's his name? Crap.
The Hound.
The Hound. I think the Hound knew what she was up to, but he was like, "Don't do it. Just don't even go through with it." Just
Yeah,
wait.
I seen it because the way it was shot was to suggest that, yeah.